Hello, dear friends. Last November, UNESCO instituted the 9th of February as the International Day for the Greek language. And on this occasion, Pigili Poudi, the composer Pigili Poudi, the tenor Marios Maniatopoulos and I were invited to Helsinki to present an event dedicated to this special celebration, to celebrate our Greek language, as all the embassies did, all over the world, all the Greek embassies did. And on this occasion, I will present to you today my entire analysis on the topic about the Greek logos and the construction of the Greek language. And we will analyze 5 excerpts from Platonic Cratylus, which is a book that Plato wrote presenting the construction plan of the Greek language. I took 5 excerpts from that book and I gave them to the composer Pigili Poudi, who is a worldwide accomplished composer, and she made music for this Platonic logos, the first time that Socrates' words have been set to music. So we decided to present this event together, to celebrate it, to celebrate this institution of our language with music and logos. And tenor Marios Maniatopoulos, this talented young vocalist, accompanied us and offered his talent to sing these excerpts. Today, we will present the whole analysis because that day we had time limitations and I didn't have the opportunity to present my entire analysis to the participants. So we will start with a video showing music by Pigili Poudi and very important and renowned ancient Greek monuments that we will enjoy in a while, and then we will proceed with the first part of the presentation. And now we will hear the composition performed. today we will realize that we all speak Greek and we don't know it. And we proceed with the first part of the presentation, which is an analysis of the 5 excerpts of Platonic Cratylus set to music, as I previously said. And the second part will be dedicated to modern Greek poetry, and it will be a proof that the basic and the fundamental philosophical ideas of the ancient Greek poets like Homer are exactly the same in the modern Greek poetry. For the first part, we will analyze these 5 excerpts, and then we will hear them performed after the analysis of each of the excerpts. Before we go to the first excerpt, I want to share with you my deepest feeling that made this event that made this event real, that music and logos are actually the same in the Greek philosophy, and practically the Greek language is music by itself. How do I mean that? Here I present to you what Socrates said in the Platonic work named Phaedo, before he drank the conion, when he was about to die, before he drank the conion. And he said that he saw Apollo in his dream, and Apollo said, Socrates, make music and work on it. And Socrates felt that philosophy is the greatest form of music. As you can see here, his exact words. Apollo is the god of music and light and medicine. So, because music is harmony by itself, philosophy that expresses all this enlightenment of the soul is the harmony of the soul. So here we have a picture showing philosophy looking at Apollo, who is about to put a wreath on the soul that will be deified. Also, besides that proof that music is combined with logos, we have the same thing in the Eleusinian mysteries, which are the mysteries, the most renowned mysteries of ancient world, that were performed for 1,800 years continually. And these were the mysteries of life and death. As you see here, when you participated in these mysteries and you were initiated in these mysteries, you found out what you should know about the life after death, about near-death experiences, and you experience the so-called afterlife. And you realized what is the path to the divinization of man. Because according to the Greek philosophy, this is the ultimate goal of the soul. We are incarnated in order to take our lessons, let us say, in the incarnation, to become virtuous, to be enlightened, and increase our vibration of the heart and of the mind to reach the one and only creator, the so-called agathon, which means goodness, the ultimate goodness. And if a man manages to do that, then he becomes deified, and he becomes the so-called hero in our tradition. Now, in the Eleusinian mysteries, as you can see here, we had 2 priestly families, the Eumolpide and the Kyrikes. The Eumolpide are descendants of Poseidon, the god of the sea, and the god that has to do with the emotional state of our soul, because our emotions look like the sea. That's why they are called emotions. It's like esoteric motions of the soul. And the sentimental states, our feelings, sometimes are calm and sometimes are turbulent, like the sea, are wavy. So Poseidon is the god that governs the heart, let's say. So Eumolpide are descendants of this. Now, as you can see here, we have the analysis of the word Eumolpide, and we will focus on that characteristic of that feature of the Greek language, which is called etymology. That means that each word consists of smaller words that denote the meaning of the word. Here we see Eumolpide is analyzed in the words F, which means good, and molpi, which means melody. That means that Eumolpide are responsible for the music which is performed in the Eleusinian Mysteries, because the Eleusinian Mysteries required two things: music and logos, and hymns, Orphic hymns. That's why we say that Orpheus is the one that gave all this music and the hymns that were performed in the Eleusinian Mysteries. On the other hand, the other priestly family, the Kyrikes, are considered to be descendants of Hermes, who is the god of Logos. And the word Kyrikes has the same etymology as Kyrikion, which means the caduceus that god Hermes holds, as you can see on the right picture that I present here. The caduceus, as it is clearly stated in the Orphic hymn of Hermes, is a symbol of the Greek language. And actually, this hymn says that you, Hermes, you are holding the power in the material world, which is the Greek logos. This is exactly what is stated in the Orphic hymn of Hermes. From that we realize that the families, because the priestly families gave the Hierophants, the highest priestess of Demeter, and all the other priesthood, let us say, in the Eleusinian Mysteries. And only when you belonged in these families, you were allowed to exert this, to practice priesthood. And you can see here on the left a relief from the Museum of Piraeus that presents the priest and the priestess of the Eleusinian Mysteries. So we can see from that in the mysteries we have a combination of musical logos. One priestly family has to do with music, Eumolpide, and the other priestly family with logos. So, because Hermes is the god of logos. Now we will hear the first excerpt that is found in the Platonic Cratylus, and then we will hear it performed from this event, from the night of the event that was presented on the 7th of February in Helsinki.
Μίζω την αδύναμην είναι η ανθρωπίαν, την θεμένην τα πρώτα ονόματα της πράγμασιν. Κάποια ανώτερη από την ανθρώπινη δύναμη είναι αυτή που έθεσε τα πρώτα ονόματα στα πράγματα.
it is said in these Socratic words is that the power which first assigned names to things is greater than that of humans, which means that the language itself is a divine source of logos. And we will analyze exactly what is said in this episode. Here, in this slide, we see the Greek language on the left, a picture that symbolizes the Greek language as a divine source of logos, and the Greeks that receive this and make philosophy that enlightens all the world. And on the right, we see God Hermes, the god of logos, holding the caduceus, the symbol of the Greek language, and having the whole earth, the whole planet under him, which means that the Greek language provides words for whole humanity. And here you can see the special characteristics of the Greek language based on which UNESCO decided to institute a day dedicated to the Greek language worldwide, the International Day for the Greek Language. And what I present here are the reasons that UNESCO itself said that made UNESCO institute this International Day. The first thing is that there is an unbroken continuity of the Greek language because it has been spoken for 40 centuries and written for 35 centuries, and we can prove that based on the interpretation of the linear B script, which is a syllabic script, and it was interpreted and proved that it is Greek. And also we have alphabetic scripts using the alphabet for more than 28 centuries. So it is the only language on the planet that is still spoken, and we will see this later, practically taking work of Homer and proving that we still speak the same words. It is the only language that is still spoken. Also, the Chinese language may be still spoken, but it's not alphabetic. So it's the only language with alphabet that is still spoken. The second characteristic is that it has been used by unparalleled historical figures like Homer, Plato, Aristotle, Archimedes, Aeschylus, the Pythagoreans, and many others, many philosophers. They used this language because when there are words to express the meanings, then you understand the meanings. If there are no words to express what you want to say, then you don't understand this notion. So the Greek language is the fullest of all languages. It has the richest vocabulary of all the languages. And that's why, as you can see in the third characteristic, the European languages borrow words from the Greek language very often, and many vocabulary roots of the European languages are Greek. And finally, another characteristic is that because it is so rich, it is an inexhaustible source of scientific terminology for all domains of science, like medicine, mathematics, physics, chemistry, astronomy, technology, humanities, and any scientific field. And even the names of these sciences are Greek, like technology. Techni, it is the word it derives from the word techni, and logos. Techni is art, so it's the art of logos. So you can see the richness of the Greek language that actually made it so to be recognized as the most important language worldwide. We proceed now with our next slide, which is one of the most important features of the Greek language, which cannot be found in any other language. It's etymology. What is etymology? Etymon in ancient Greek means the truth. And logos is logos. So we talk about the truth. And when you analyze the words, as we can see here, as Antisthenes put it, an ancient philosopher, if you want to approach wisdom and finding out, you start finding out the wisdom of nature, of things, of everything around you, the first step towards wisdom is thinking on the structure of the words that describe what you want to find out. So etymology is a feature that holds true for more than 90% of the Greek words. And this is exactly what Socrates reveals in the Platonic Cratylus, which is, I repeat, the work of Plato that describes the construction plan of the Greek language, and all the words are based on their etymology. So they are not made accidentally. They are made following a plan. And this plan uses etymology. Now, here we can see and the other main feature of the so-called names, what the ancient Greeks called onomata, which means names, are the words. So the words of the Greek language have two main features, the etymology, as we said before. So each part, the smaller words that constitute each word have meaningful connotation, and by analyzing this meaning, you understand the meaning of the word. And I will give you examples in a while. And the second feature is that each letter corresponds to a number, and therefore each word that consists of letters corresponds to the sum of the numbers of its letters, which is called lexarithm, from the word lexis, which means word, and arithmos, which means number. So it's a number that characterizes the word. So you can see here that the words have a mathematical, let us say, connotation. What I mean with that? To understand that, we will go to what Proclus, the dean of Platonic Academy in the 5th century AD, said, analyzing Plato, that the number coincides, is equivalent to the mind, and this is equivalent to wisdom. So the philosophers say that the cosmic mind of the creator, that creates the cosmos, uses numbers, meaning mathematics, to make the world. And modern physics is trying to understand this mathematics, and that's why we have the mathematical laws of physics. So the creator uses mathematics to make the world. And the creator, of course, is mind, and also it is wisdom. So we can say we see this correspondence, and that the one coincides with the other. The philosophers say now that in order to express this with logos, with speech, we use the names, the words. The words are considered to be, according to Proclus always, statues of the beings that imitate the numbers. What do we mean with that? Suppose you see a statue of an athlete. The statue describes the athlete very nicely, very accurately, but it's not the athlete himself. So the same thing happens with the names. The names describe what the numbers want us to say, but it's not exactly the wisdom, it's an approach to the wisdom. So analyzing the Greek names, you approach wisdom, because as we said, each letter is a number by itself. Now, this tendency of the Greeks to form words based on etymology, I would say, runs in their blood, runs in our blood. Because even the new words we make, like telefono, as you can see here, which is a word that everybody understands because it has been borrowed by all the languages, telephone, telefono, etc., consists of the words tile and phoni. Tile means far away, and phoni means voice. So this means that telephone is the voice that comes from far away. But telephone is not an ancient apparatus, let's say. It's a modern invention. And the Greeks gave this name because, as I said, they wanted the word to show exactly the meaning of what it describes. So we can see that we still use etymology in modern Greek when we want to form modern Greek words. Here, I also give you the word onoma, which is the root, the vocabulary root of the word name, and here I give you the correspondences of the letters. We have ni, the letter N, mi, the letter N, O is equivalent to epsilon. The word, the letter O is equivalent to E, which we call epsilon. So we take the O from onoma and we make an E. So you see most, and the A, of course, is from the alpha, the last letter of the onoma. You can see how the word name derives from a Greek word, and we will see many others later on. Here, in the next slide, it is the first form of the ancient, the very ancient Greek alphabet, which has, as you can see here, some letters that we don't have in modern Greek alphabet. The letter F, there used to be at the beginning, the letter Kopa, here, the Q, here, and the letter San P, this is how we call it, which has been omitted in the modern Greek language. But this is the first, the original, let's say, full, complete alphabet, Greek alphabet. We notice that the central here part, the central column, which is the fifth column of the alphabet, consists of the letters epsilon, ni here, and phi, which form the words n, with the epsilon and ni is n, which means one, and denotes the one and only creator of the universe. And phi is the first letter of the word phos, which means light. So this means that all the alphabet revolves around a central column, which is the one and only creator, which is light. And this means that the Greek words that consist of, are formed with these letters, have light in themselves. The highlighted words here, the yellow ones, are the 7 vowels, alpha here, epsilon, eta, iota, omicron, epsilon, and omega. The Greeks consider that the vowels have solar power, like and number 7 has also to do with Apollo, like the 7 days of the week, and the sun. Apollo is the god of the sun, of light, and they say, they believe that when we have many vowels in the words, we have the solar power in the words. And actually, the Greek words consist of 60% of vowels. 60% of the letters in the Greek words are vowels, and we have the language that has most of its words have the biggest number of vowels in its words. It has the biggest numbers and the number of vowels in its words. It has been proved, and actually Minas Tigritis, who is a very important researcher on the Minoan scripts and the linear B and linear A, known worldwide, I have heard him saying that research proved that people who live in warmer climates tend to open their mouth more because they are not cold. And when you open the mouth, you pronounce vowels. So the people who live in warmer climates have more vowels in their words, in their everyday speaking language, spoken language. Whereas the people who live in colder climates in the north tend to use more consonants because of the cold, and they don't open the mouth so much. And this is all true, and we can see this in the languages of the northern part of Europe, for example. The next slide. In the next slide, I take a quote from the commentary of Proclus on Plato's Kratilos, where he gives us the information that when Pythagoras was asked what is the wisest of all, he said the number. And when he was asked what is the second one in the race of wisdom, he answered the one who gave the names to the things. So these people, the wise people that shaped and formed the Greek language are the second ones in wisdom after the number. And the number, as we said, coincides with the mind of the Creator, as we saw before in previous slides. This is another proof that the Greek language is closely related to mathematics. And I must say at this point that according to Pythagoreans, there are 5 domains, let us say, of mathematics, 5 branches, let us say, of mathematics. Arithmetics, we all have studied arithmetics, it's the numbers at school, we all study arithmetics. The second one is geometry, which is the mathematics on surface. The third one is stereometry, which studies the solids in the 3 dimensions. And the fourth one is astronomy, which studies solids in motion, which are the planets and the galaxies and all the stuff. And the 5th branch, which is the highest form of mathematics, is music, which is the solids which are in motion, but in harmonic motion. So you can see here that the music, is mathematics, actually. And that's why, because we said mathematics and the numbers and the Greek words are closely related, that's why music is closely related to the Greek logos. And this made me accept this, what Gili Koudi asked me to do, is to give here excerpts from Platonic Kratilius to set them to music. And I thought that this is the first time in the world that we can see the Socratic logos sung, and this is a very important moment for me. And it was heartedly accepted by the Greek embassy in Helsinki, and I want to express my deepest thanks to the Greek embassy and to the Association of the Greeks in Finland that made this event possible. So from this analysis that you can understand that how closely Greek logos and music are related. In the next slide, I present the first 15 verses of Rhapsody A of Homer Odyssey. So we have here highlighted words are the words that the English language borrows from that. And on the right, you can see the derivatives, how they derive from the Homeric words. But before we proceed with that, I want you to take a look on this table here on the top right-hand corner, which consists of 3 columns containing the consonants, which are called palatal, dental, and labial, and they can be interchangeable. The consonants of each column are interchangeable. You can use, for example, kappa instead of he, let us say, in the words. For example, we have the word, the modern Greek word ktizo, which means build, or ktizo with he, it's the same. So we can interchange these consonants. And this principle is applied in the formation of the words of other languages. What do we mean now with palatal consonants? We mean that these consonants, which are k, g, h, are pronounced by pushing the tongue towards the hard palate. And that's why we call them palatine. The dental consonants are pronounced, they are t, the, thu, and they are pronounced by pushing the tongue towards the teeth, against the teeth actually, against the teeth. And the labial consonants are pronounced when with the lips. We have here P, V, P, Pu, Bu, Fu. Based on that, let's take one example, and you can see by yourselves all the others, the analysis is here. Let's take the word evno. I bet most of you have wondered why we write the verb know with K at the beginning. That's why I will show you here. The word evno means new. So here he says that Odysseus knew a lot of places and cities all over the world. So when we take the word evno, here is the epsilon, the E here, N, the letter N is the N here, the letter omega is the W here, and the letter gamma, which is in this column, can be interchanged with the letter K here. So you see, we apply this principle of interchangeable consonants in order to form the word new, but we don't pronounce K. So I would say that many English words that are written with letters that are not pronounced are highly likely, are very likely to be derived from Greek words by applying this principle here with the interchangeable consonants. So we can see here the word daughter. You see, Why we pronounce O, daughter, and we write A and U here? Why? That's because the word theater has these letters A and U, you see? And etc. The word space from specie, which means the cave, boss, which is the bosses, which means the master, muse, musa, etc. After, it's after, and psyche, psyche. And you see here the letter psi here is written with PSY. Psi and ypsilon from psyche is written with PSY. PS is psi. But the English pronounce it psi, so you cannot understand what it derives from. And also when we have words borrowed by Greek words that contain the letter he here, like psyche, in the English language is written with CH and it's pronounced K. So we have psyche, but it's psyche. So whenever you see PSY or CH, like school, for example, is scholio. We have the letter he in scholio, and then you write school with CH. That's why you write with CH. So many, we have a lot of examples. And the English-speaking people must be really very proud that have Homeric roots in their language, like most of the European languages are, as we said before. Now, here in this slide, I take the same 15 verses of the first Rhapsody, and I have highlighted with white letters the modern Greek words, the words of modern Greek that are exactly the same as the Homeric words. And from the 107 words that are all the words of the 15 verses, the 48 words are exactly the same, like πολλά, μουσα, αλλά, αυτόν, είπε, φύγον, θάλασσαν, γυναικός, etc., etc. We have many words, so 48 words are exactly the same, and it is not an exaggeration at all to say that we still speak Homeric dialects. And the 7 yellowish words here are the ones that are found in derivatives in modern Greek. For example, astea, which means the cities. We have the word proasio, which means suburb. So it's the one that is before the city, it's close to the city, etc. Or the word non, which means the word non here, which means mind, this one here, is in the word nootropia, which means mentality, that has to do with mind. Now, after that, I think we have the proof from the Platonic excerpt, from the Socratic excerpt, that said that it was the ones that create the names have a divine power. So the Greek language is a divine language. It has to do with some divine origin. It has divine origin. And now we will proceed to the second Platonic excerpt that has been set to music.
Οι γυναίκες έπερ μάλιστα την αρχαίαν φωνήν σώζουσι. Κυρίως οι γυναίκες σε μεγάλο βαθμό διασώζουν την αρχαίαν γλώσσα.
Now we will proceed with with the second excerpt from Platonic Karageorgou that has been composed in music and talks about the value of women. Here you can see what this excerpt says. Women, above all, are the ones who preserve the ancient language. And of course, we all talk about mother tongue, not father tongue, because mothers are the ones that first teach their children to speak, and not only to speak, to apply moral principles in their lives, and are the ones that are closer to the children. And as you can see here, this excerpt talks about the value of women and a society that respects the woman, respects humanity, respects man. So if we don't respect women, we don't have healthy societies. And here you see women having in their hands the enlightenment of their children. We learn, the first language we learn is the language that our mother teaches us, and it's never forgotten. And that's why we say it's our mother tongue. And this is what Socrates says, what great responsibility mothers have to teach the right things to their children. And as you can see here, we in our tradition, we worship the great Mother Earth. And this great Mother Earth is called Rhea, which means, it derives from the word roi, which means flow. And Rhea is the flow of life. And as Proclus informs us from his commentary on Plato's Cratylus, Orpheus had said that after Rhea became Zeus' mother, she was called Demeter. And because the word Demeter, as you can see here, etymologically consists of the words Didusa osmiter. And Didusa means giving like a mother. Didusa osmiter means giving like a mother. So Demeter is the one that gives like a mother. So Rhea, the flow of life, of the mother of Zeus, and Zeus represents life itself, because the other name of Zeus is Zin, and Zin is a verb in ancient Greek which means live. So it's the provider of life to nature, to everything, to universe. And his mother, Rhea, coincides with Demeter when she becomes a mother. So the Greeks worshipped the great Mother Earth. And here, Goddess Demeter is shown on the left picture, providing the food for humanity. The cultivation of land and all the stuff is dedicated to Demeter. And in the Latin language, Demeter is called Ceres, and that's why we have cereal. And the cereal comes from Demeter. And in the Greek language, we say Dimitriaga because of Demeter. So the same way Demeter provides the food for humanity, she also provides the food of soul through her mysteries, as we said before, because the Eleusinian mysteries are dedicated to Goddess Demeter and God Dionysus, and her daughter Persephone, who represents the cycle of incarnations. On the right side here, this picture, you can see a Minoan priestess of Great Mother holding the snakes, and the Minoans worshipped also Mother Earth. In the next slide, you can see a very nice picture depicting a mother holding a book, which is the knowledge, which includes the knowledge that her child should take. And this provision of knowledge for her is her top priority, and it is done at any cost. It should be done at any cost. And when this really happens, the enlightenment of the soul through the books and the knowledge that the mother provides is under the auspices of Goddess Athena, which means the goddess of wisdom. So this presides this whole process of the enlightenment of the soul. And now we proceed with the third Platonic excerpt from Platonic Ratilius that has been composed by Pigil Koudi, and we will hear it right away.
Χαλεπά τα καλά εστίν. Τα καλά είναι και δύσκολα.
So this third excerpt says that what is noble is difficult. It's very difficult to achieve and to attain worthwhile goals. And Socrates uses this, says this, before he presents the construction plan of the Greek language. And he says that it's not easy at all. I will try to approach the way of thinking of the creators of the words, of the first creators of the words. And this is a very, very difficult task to perform. And after that, he presents the plan of the Greek, the construction plan of the Greek language that I showed you here. And here I give you the two main principles based on which the words have been formed. The words with positive connotation show unhindered and uninvented flow, whereas the words with negative connotation show obstacle, tie, and hindrance. For the Greeks, the most difficult task to achieve is to become virtuous. So the virtue actually resembles a mountain, and becoming virtuous resembles the conquest of the top of this mountain, according to Aristotle. That's why I borrowed two words from the analysis, from the words that Socrates presents in the presentation of the construction of the language, with a positive connotation here. And I picked the word arete, which means virtue, the etymology of which is airiti, and this comes from the ai-reon. The ai-reon, ai means forever, and the reon means flow, like the word rea, as we said before. So virtue means ever-flowing. Actually, this shows the ever-flowing positive energy inside us if we are virtuous. Because when we practice virtue in our life, in our choices, then we will never repent. We will never regret what we are doing. That's why we have this ever-flowing positive energy inside us. The other word here that I picked to present to you is the word agathon, which means goodness, and it is the name, one of the names of the one and only God for ancient Greeks, so the creator of cosmos. Agathon derives from the words agathon, which means admirable, thou, which means of the extremely fast. Thon means very, very fast. And agathon means the admirable. So it's the admirable quality of the extremely fast. But what is the extremely fast? In the material world, it's the light, as we know. The speed of light is the highest of all. But in the invisible world, the fastest is the mind. We understand that because we consist of material body and mind, which is vibration, energy. So I can send my thought and my mind to whatever I want instantly. So my mind goes instantly wherever I choose without delay. So the fastest of all is the mind, and the mind is light. And that's why in the material world, the image, let's say, of the mind is the light. And I think this is but I believe that the word God of the English language derives from the word agathon, from these correspondences that we said before with the consonants. Here we have the gamma consonant corresponds to G, gu, and thu is interchanged with thu, and this is D here. And O is the O from agathon is the O in the word God, and the letter alpha here is omitted. So we see that even the word God derives from the Greek word agathon, which means God, which is another name for God. And the second category here, with the words that have negative connotation, I chose the word dilia, which means cowardice, that etymologically consists. So the word cowardice, dilia, derives from the words desmos, which means the greatest tie down, and lia, which means lia means the greatest, and desmos is tie. So the cowardice is the greatest tie down of the soul, and this is true because when we are coward, we cannot act. So it's like having tied our soul. And now we proceed with the fourth excerpt of Platonic Kratilus, we will hear right now.
Το γάρ εξαπατάστε αυτόν υφ' αυτού πάντων χαλεπότατον. Το να εξαπατάτε κανείς από τον ίδιο του τον εαυτό είναι το φοβερότερο όλων.
This means that self-deception is the worst thing of all. Socrates says if we deceive ourselves by our own self, is the worst thing that can happen to us, because we cannot see the truth. And this means that the Greek philosophers are not dogmatic, are eternal researchers for the objective truth. And we can see this in Platonic Cratylus at the point where Socrates finishes with the presentation of the construction plan of the language, and he says that because I want to be sure that I have not made a mistake, I have to re-examine what I said before. And at the beginning of the dialogue, he asked Hermogenes, who is the one that has this conversation with Socrates, whether he believes or not that truth is objective. And he said, of course it is objective. And this is a very important principle of the Greek philosophy, that we try to discover the truth which is objective. It's not subjective. It's not what I think is not necessarily the truth. So we should think twice, Socrates says, about our opinions, because we run the risk of self-deception, which is the most catastrophic of all. And if we approach philosophy and the truth from this point of view and with this principle, we can be sure that we will really discover the truth. And when this happens, this is a liberating feeling in the soul, like this horse, the white horse, which is the Pegasus, that from mythology has to do with is the horse that the Perseus rides after he cuts the head of Medus, which represents the deception. Actually, you cut the deception at this point, at the point of logos, and then your heart, your emotional state is liberated because you find the truth, and this is liberating. So what we come up with, Greek philosophy is not dogmatic. There is no dogma in Greek philosophy. And now we will proceed with the last and final excerpt of that Pilippou composed.
Τιμιδοκοί προφάσεις αγών δέχεστε. Μου φαίνεται ότι ο αγώνας δεν επιδέχεται αναβολές.
So Socrates says, it seems to me that the struggle ought not to accept excuses or deferment. And this is exactly what we need today in all domains of life, in all aspects of life, that we should be active and not delay to act to achieve our goals, whatever this means in our life. But as humanity, the fight against darkness now is more imperative than ever. And this requires immediate action. And the Greek spirit, as we see here, is the light of humanity. The Greek spirit expressed with the Greek language and philosophy is the light of humanity that we need to use in order to fight spiritual darkness. Here on the left, we see Goddess Athena encouraging Diomedes, a very important hero of the Iliad, to enter the fight. Based on that, we can be sure, based on the Greek logos, we can be sure that we discover the truth and we achieve the enlightenment of our soul. I would like to end the first part of the presentation with another important poet of our modern Greek poetry, Nikephoros Vretakos, who said about the Greek language, about the divinity of the Greek language. When one day I leave this light, I will meander upwards like a murmuring brook. And if I happen to encounter angels somewhere among the blue passages, I will speak to them in Greek, because they don't know languages. They talk to each other with music. As you can see here, again, the Greek language coincides with music. So let's use this logos, this enlightenment of the soul, to be harmonized in our body and in our soul. And after that, we proceeded with the second part of the presentation that that contains a series of songs performed by Pigirikoudi and the tenor, Marios Maniatopoulos. And in this part, I decoded modern Greek poets, and I proved that they apply the same principles in their poetry as Homer did and as the ancient philosophers. So this proves the continuity of the Greek tradition and spirit. And we chose two songs which have been composed from the poets of our Nobel Prize winners, Odysseas Elitis, who got the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1979, and George Sepheis, who won the prize in literature, the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1963. The first song is titled "The Single Swallow," and you will hear it performed by our tenor and Pigirikoudi in piano. And I have highlighted some verses which will be related to the verses of the other poets, of the other poems that will be sung, and show that the evolutionary path of man in the incarnation cycles. The first thing we see here, Elitis talks to God, and he says, "God, my master builder, you built me surrounded by mountains. You enclosed me in the sea." I think it was not a coincidence at all to to present this in the Church of the Rocks, as you can see in my background in Helsinki. Actually, it was like being built inside the rocks when I analyzed that. And the sea of Helsinki was frozen, and the ships would not move. So it's like being enclosed somehow in the sea that surrounded us. So what the poet wants to say here is that the mountains symbolize our material body, that we are inside it, our soul is inside our body and cannot get away from it. So it's like being surrounded by mountains, heavy matter. And the sea, as we said previously, resembles our emotions, the center of our heart. So when we are incarnated, we have to fight with emotions, with the negative feelings, and we feel surrounded by heavy matter. But the poet gives us a very hopeful, let us say, message that God, my master builder, you too among the lilacs, God, my master builder, you felt the scent of resurrection. And here he talks about the time of spring, and in the time of spring we celebrate the resurrection of Christ. And in the same way we overcome death, we overcome the cycle of life and death, and we achieve the eternal life. And we become only mind, we remain only with the core of our soul, with the mind, and we become light, and we vibrate with this light. So although you are incarnated, the hopeful message is that resurrection will follow. The second poem that we chose to present today is a poem by Nikephoros Vretakos, composed, set to music by Pigi Koudi, and it is titled The Rose. The poet says, "Tonight I dreamt that you shrunk, that you became a red rose. Where shall I put you? All the earth is my chest." The red rose symbolizes the holy beauty, the heavenly beauty of goddess Aphrodite, goddess Venus in the Latin language, in the Latin dialect. And so all this heavenly beauty is inside me, is inside my heart, and is in my hands, because I will express this heavenly beauty with my actions, and the actions are done with the hands, and the hands are at the same level as the heart is. So whatever I have in my heart, this is what I do in my life. So I am the one that have the heavenly beauty in my hands, the red rose. And it shrunk because there is the heavenly beauty of the heavens, of the God, and this is huge. And inside me is a part of it. It's like being a ray of the sun. My mind is like a ray of a mental sun. So this is huge, like the sun is huge, but the ray is very small compared to the sun. This is what he says, that inside me I have the heavenly beauty, although it is a small part of it. And after that, another poem by Nikiforos Vretakos, written by Nikiforos Vretakos, that Pigi Likoudi composed music for, is titled A Letter to the Man of My Country, to the man of my homeland. And he says, let them know what my tears say, that I insist that the world is beautiful. He talks to the person who managed to achieve deification, who was deified and returned to the cosmic homeland. And he talks to that soul, to that person, and he says, tell them over there that although I suffer the existence of the incarnations here and pay off my karmic debts through my tears, I insist that the world is beautiful. And because I have the heavenly beauty inside me, and I am determined to find it inside me and express it, so that I will return to my cosmic homeland. And the next poem that we chose is titled Not Long Yet. It's written by the other Nobel Prize winner, our poet George Safaris, and he talks about the feelings that we have waiting for the time of deification. And he encourages the people, whoever is struggling to apply virtue in his life and be enlightened and be awakened compared to the rest of humanity. And he says, not long yet, this will happen in a while, and we will see the almond trees blooming. What is the almond trees? The almond tree is the sacred tree of God Hermes, the god of Logos. And like the almond tree blooms before spring arrives, the same way when the soul accepts Logos and applies Logos inside in her inner part and harmonizes itself, then it is sure that it will see the inner blooming of the self. The marble shining in the sun. We will see the marble shining in the sun. Now, the hard rock that surrounded us, as we said before in the poem of Elitis, becomes marble, and marble is a stone that shines in the sun. This derives from the word marmero, which is a verb in ancient Greek that means shine, sparkle. And that's true. When we see the marble stone in the sun, it sparkles. So we will see our body shining because we will have the inner light inside us, and we will shine outwards. So the soul is the shining soul is it can be easily seen from other people outside. So marble shining in the sun, and the sun here is the mental sun, the solar power of the soul. Not long yet, and we will rise a little higher. And a little higher means we will ascend to a higher level of existence. We will vibrate at higher frequencies, and we will reach heavens. We will reach God. We will express Agathon, the God itself, in our earthly existence. So, with all these messages, we ended our presentation with a promise that when we realize the richness of the Greek language and Greek philosophy. And we apply it and we try to enlighten our soul through this path, then we will reach our heavenly homeland one day. And now the last slide I want to present is that what Odysseus said about his language, about my language, the Greek language, the language that we honor today. And he says that my soul concerns my language upon Homer's sandy shores. And this is the message I want to leave at the end of my presentation, that we should take care of the Greek language, and especially the young generation with Greek origin, that people, that our youth that live in other countries, they should set the learning of their mother tongue, of their of the Greek language, the language of their origin. They should set the learning of this language as their top priority in order to be connected with this light of humanity, with the Greek spirit, with the Greek philosophy, with our richness and our wealth in this world is our Greek language. Thank you for listening.
Fresco sanaco να σε βάλω, όλη η γης είναι στήθος μου, που να σε βάλω, όλη η γης είναι στήθος μου.
Αυτό είναι το έργο που λέγεται η κατασκευή της γλώσσας. Τι σημαίνει? Κράτος και ύλη. Δύναμη στην ύλη. Η δύναμή μας στην ύλη είναι η ελληνική γλώσσα.